بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين إلى يوم الدين أما بعد يا أيها الناس قد جاءتكم موعظة Quran is a maw'idha, it is an admonition, it is a caution, it is a warning, a way of life, a discipline where Allah Jalla Jalaluhu reprimands us. Allama Zamakhshari under this ayah mentions قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ كتاب جامع لهذه الفواعد من موعظة. This book is so special that it's precise, it's concise, it encompasses everything where a person needs to take lesson. Allama Thalaby has mentioned also هذه آية خُطِبَ بها جميع العالم. This ayah is special where it is, this Quran is special. So referring to this ayah, making the tafsir, this ayah itself is addressing the entire humanity, and Quran is the wa'iz because it enjoins good, it forbids evil, it reprimands, it softens the heart, it prepares, it warns. وَهَذِهِ صِفَةُ الْكِتَابِ, and this is the special quality of this book here, the Kalam of Allah. Beautiful saying, the only medication with no side effects and great after effects is the Quran. So it is a cure, it is a mercy, it is a guidance, it is a guide for humanity. وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ, and it is a cure for what is in your chest. So cure also is from suspicion, from doubts, cure from the dirt of kufr and shirk. So that's the greatest darkness which the Quran is the means of cure. وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ الشِّفَاء. So Quran is a cure and a mercy. So this cure, this guide, this constitution, we need to be checking ourselves all the time that are we going onto the straight path, on the path and the guidance of Allah and His Rasul. Is this our priority when I wake up? Is this my priority when I go sleep? 7 days a week, 365 days a year, until my last breath. وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Is my ibadat on that level that I'm desirous to meet my Allah? Or do I get caught in the traps of shaitan? Hakim ummat has mentioned an interesting point. He said the sin and this ma'asiyat, when a person commits it, then he comes to a position where he says, you know what, I'll commit a guna, and slowly, when I fulfill my desire, then the desire is done, then I will no more commit the guna. So this is a deception from shaitan. Why? Because temporarily the desire will decrease, but the faculty and the power of committing guna will now become stronger and will be strengthened, and it will become more difficult now for a person to eradicate this guna and sin from his life, and then he will not have the power to do that. So shaitan portrays and brings this concept, okay, just do it or fulfill it for this once and then you'll never do it again. But when we give in once, we give in forever. So we have to be very careful and cautious. وَجَاءَكَ فِي هَذِهِ الْحَقُّ وَمَوْعِظَةٌ وَذِكْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that we relate to you the news of the messengers so that we make you strong and firm. Your heart becomes established. And In thus this truth has come to you, and it is an admonition, maw'idha, it is an admonition, a reminder for the believers, for the people of Iman. So all these incidents of Quran should be a lesson for us. Allah is telling the Nabi of Allah, imagine the Mukhatab is the Nabi of Allah, that we are mentioning to you all these incidents. So you, the Nabi of Allah as well. So not only if the addressed was the Nabi of Allah, then imagine how much more should the people of Iman take lesson when the yaqeen and the Iman of the Nabi of Allah can never be ever. We can never ever fathom the level of which Allah had granted the Nabi of Allah. So this is a comprehensive advice. So we need to reflect and see how much are we in the darkness, how much are we taking lesson, how much is our life changing. Even from our birth, our inception, when the husband and wife are in solitude, there's a dua that you should be reading. If not, shaitan has a hand in that. There's consequences on the child. And when the child is born, Auzubillah, we have baby showers, baby parties. And as he grows, that poor child, Masoom, we celebrate birthdays, whereas we're supposed to be celebrating our death day, means the day we die. We should celebrate on our death. Yeah, we are alive, we got nothing to celebrate. How dark must the hearts be? We have no reason to celebrate, and we still celebrate. Our weddings have become dens of disobedience and ma'asiyah, where ladies dress at their best to expose their satar. You all wonder if this is a Muslim gathering, the people of Iman, that the daughters of Sahaba, the daughters of the Ummah, and the gatherings are mixed, and there's music in the background, and the bride is like a piece of art, a showpiece, to showcase her satar, her modesty is breached. What has happened to the Ummah? Our daughters are amanat, they are trust in our hands. We will be answerable. Al-Iman al-Haya kulluhu. Iman is Haya. When there's no Haya, there's no Iman. So modesty is an integral. It is a constituent. It is vital. There's no two ways about it. It is part of the fundamentals of Deen. By nature, by default, inherently, Haya is there. If we go back 100, 200 years, even if you look at the clothing of the kuffar, they were overclothed. So shaitan over time, slowly has removed this clothing. So the women, their dresses were till the ground. Now it's lifted up where there's nothing left. The men's clothing has gone to the ground. Opposite. So which alley of darkness are we in that we can't see the light? We think so, we got it right. We think so, I'm living the life. But we're not there. We're somewhere else. We're on another platform. Because shaitan has put in a person on this pedestal where he presumes that he's on haqq, maybe on batil. It was a husband who took his wife for hunting for the first time. So they were looking for deer. So he told the wife that the most important thing in a hunt is to claim your kill. Because somebody else may be in the area as well, and they want to sabotage your kill, your hunt. So he showed her a few things, and she got ready for her hunt. So the husband was in his place, the wife was in her hunting box, and he heard her rifle go off. So the husband now needed to check if the wife is staking her claim to her kill. So he rushed, and he found the wife in an argument with a stranger. So the wife was screaming and saying, "This is my kill, this is my kill." And she said, "I can prove I shot this animal, it is my deer, it is my deer." So the other person said, "Okay, lady." He knew she's not going to back down. So he said, "Okay, no problem. But do you mind if I take my saddle off your deer before you take it away?" Bichara, it was his horse. "Do you mind if I take my saddle off your deer before you take it away?" so much jahalat, so much ignorance, that a person doesn't even realize how much darkness and ignorance they're in. So Quran is a maw'idah, different ayat, Allah explaining that this is a book of guidance. Why? What has happened to you? Why are you not taking guidance? إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم. Allah enjoins justice, doing good to others, giving to your relatives, forbids indecency, fahsha. Just discuss it. Fahsha, immodesty, evil, rebellion. يعظكم. Allah is admonishing you so that you تذكرون, you take lesson. So this is a very jami ayat. Sha'bi has narrated that I heard Ibn Mas'ud saying, يقول ابن مسعود هذه الآية أجمع آية في القرآن لخير وشر. This is the most comprehensive ayah in the Quran. The most comprehensive ayah in the Quran, which highlights good and bad. So even this ayah, the Shani Nuzul, was where an incident when Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was with Uthman bin Ma'zun, and he passed by and he smiled. Then Nabi alayhi salam told him, La tajlis, why don't you sit down? So he certainly. So Nabi of Allah was facing him, and while they were talking, he began looking up to the sky, and his gaze moved to the ground. So when this whole matter was finished, then he told the Nabi of Allah, did I see you stare to the sky? Then what has happened? What's the story? So Nabi alayhi salam said, did you see me do that? Did you see me do that? So he said, yes, I saw you staring in the sky. Then you lowered your gaze until you look into the right. Then you turned to him, then in the left of me. Then you tilted your head as if you were trying to understand something that was being said to you. So Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam again said, وَفَطِنْتَ لِذَلِكَ, did you notice that? Then Hazrat Uthman said, yes, I did notice that. So Nabi alayhi salam explained, Atani Rasulullah anifan wa anta jalis. A messenger came to me while you were sitting here. Messenger, yes, a messenger. What did he say to you? And these ayat were recited. Hazrat Uthman says, at that point in time, my iman was established so strong in the heart that I began to love the Nabi of Allah excessively. يَعِذُكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ. So we take a lesson. This world is a place of deception. Can we see through this deception? Can we see through all this darkness? Sometime even our closest will double cross. What even your enemy will not do, your closest, your most beloveds will double cross you. So this is dunya. So we have to be very careful and cautious. They say two friends, bosom buddies, were out hunting one day when they accidentally both dropped their guns over a cliff. Then they turned around and they saw a bear ready to attack them. So quickly they ran to the tree, but the bear started to follow them up. So the first friend from his knapsack took out his trainers and swapped it, changed it for hiking boots. So he said, what are you doing? He said, when the bear gets close to us, we'll jump down and make a run for it. So the friend said, is there something wrong with you? Pagal admi, what's wrong with you? You can never outrun a bear. He said, I don't have to outrun the bear. I only have to outrun you. So even our closest sometimes become our worst through the love of dunya, through certain reasons. So we need to be very cautious. Under this ayah, Hazrat Tastari rahimahullah used to say, يَعِذُكُمْ يُؤَدِّبُكُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is training you, is teaching you, is nurturing you, but the best of etiquettes. And he's reminding you, وَيُنَبِّهُكُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ التَّنْبِيهِ, the greatest of of lessons and showing you لَعَلَّكُمْ تَذَكَّرُونَ تَتَّعِذُونَ وَتَنْتَهُونَ, so that you take lessons, so that you stop. And you say الناس نيام فإذا ماتوا انتبهوا فإذا ماتوا انتبهوا. People are all asleep, they're in a slumber, they see in a dream, they see in the dream of their dream house, dream car, dream wife, dream kids, dream everything in a dream. But that's not the reality. And when they die, they will wake up, because the actual reality is death, the grave, Hashar, Pul Sirat. Jannat and Jahannam is a reality. We are still in a dream, we're in a slumber, we're still trying to get the excesses of ma'asiyat and sin and disobedience. As the Hasan Basri used to say under this ayah, Wallah ma taraka al-adl wal-ihsan shay'an min ta'atillah illa jama'ahu. That this justice and doing good, it is so all encompassing in the obedience of Allah, that once you got this your moderation, then it'll bring all good. ولا تركت الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي شيئا من معصيتها إلا جمعوه. But immodesty, evil, disobedience, these gather more gunas. So when a person gets into all of this, slowly gunas start to multiply and increase, and eventually a person is deprived. So Quran is it is a lesson. Allah subhanahu won't ask about the car you drove. He will ask how many people you drove who didn't have transportation, how much jamaats you took, how much time you went to the masjid. Allah won't ask the square footage of your house. He will ask how many people you made ikram, how many jamaats you brought into the house, how much ulama, how much scholars you made ikram. He won't ask about the clothes you had in your closet. He'll ask how many people did you clothe. He won't ask about how high your salary was, what corporate ladder you climbed. He will ask you if you ever compromise your character to get this salary, to get this money, to get this wealth. Allah won't ask about your job title. He will ask if you performed your job for Allah, the job of the Rasul, for Khalifatullah fil ard. Allah will not ask how many friends you had. He will ask how many people to whom you are a friend. People are in need. How many people did you help at the time of need? You won't ask how many friends you had. That's interesting. Allah won't ask what neighborhood you lived in, but how did you treat your neighbors? How many people have you understood in your neighborhood are in need, and what fikr you made for that as well? Just not your immediate neighbors, is not one house. Go beyond. Allah won't ask the color of your skin, but He will ask about the content of your character, your akhlaq. So Quran is maw'idha. We need to take lesson. Mansur bin Ammar says, I was out one day and it was still dark, so there was a place nearby. So I said, let me take rest here. And in the house, close to the door, I had a young man crying. He said, Ya Allah, by your Izzah, by your Jalal, my guna has reached the climax. I haven't taken lesson from your warning, from your punishment. You can see me and still I disobey you. My nafs is inclined to guna and I gave in. It has overpowered me. And you have made Tastari, Ya Allah. You have covered my gunas. You have put a veil. And this has deceived me. Sometimes we commit guna and Allah covers it up. And we continue and we continue. This is a deception. So Allah has made Tastari. Try to make tawbah. Clean your slates. Don't go back. Ya Allah, I disobeyed you due to my jihalat, my ignorance, and I opposed you. Who will save me from your punishment and adhab? Whose rope can I hold on to, Ya Allah, when your rope has been cut from me? Ya Allah, I've committed gunas in the day, I've committed gunas in the night, Ya Allah. How can I repent? How can I make tawbah? Ya Allah, I'm ashamed, Ya Allah. So Mansur was there, said, when I heard these words, I recited these ayat, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naro. O people of Iman, save yourselves and your families from the fire whose fuel is men and stones. Upon it are angels who are fierce, dhiladun shidad. So Mansur says, I heard a voice, somebody tossing around violently. I then left to do some errands in the morning. And then I came back to find out what had happened to the crier. So I came to the door and I found that there was a deceased, and somebody was coming out. So I asked them, who passed away? She said, leave me alone. Do not increase my sadness. I said, I'm a stranger in the area. She said, this is my son. Last night a man passed by and recited the verse of the fire of Jahannam. This one verse caused my son to toss violently and to cry until he finally passed away. He tossed violently, and that one ayah of the Quran was sufficient to take away his ruh. How much Quran are we reading? It doesn't even cause a drop of tear to fall. Forget our ruh coming out, even tears don't come out. May Allah give us the reality. The amal for today is the virtues of being a mu'adhin and giving the adhan. لو يعلم الناس ما في التأذين لا تضاربوا عليه بالسيوف. If people knew the rewards in store for them for calling out the adhan, they would have struck each other with swords to fulfill this amal, to do this deed of giving adhan. May Allah give us tawfiq of valuing every moment and taking lesson from every ayah. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.